A very good morning to everyone. We are from Group 5 Star. Here is the list of articles that has been chosen by my group members. My name is Sandhya Ganesh and my matrix number is 272923. Let me start explain my article. The definition of ABC is activity-based costing is a technique to quantitatively measure the cost and performance of activities, resources, cost objective including overhead. Next, I will explain the steps of ABC. A system is considered informative when it is able to deliver useful or interesting information. It is understood that a method is more informative than the other when it offers more information to the management, especially in terms of capacity utilization. The figure shows the 5 steps of applying ABC method. In ABC, cost driver information is highlighted as it used as rate and to forecast the product cost. It is beneficial to the company for the decision making in future. Let me explain all the 5 steps. The first step is identify cost activities required to complete products. An activity is any process or procedure that consume overhead resource. The goal is to understand all the activities required to make the company's product. Companies that use activity-based costing, such as International Business Machine Corporation (IBM), may identify hundreds of activities required to make their products. The most challenging part of this step is narrowing down the activities to those have the biggest impact on overhead costs. Secondly, assign overhead costs to the activities identified in step 1. The step requires that overhead costs associated with each activity be assigned to the activity. For example, a cost pool is formed for each activity. For the purchasing materials activities will include costs for such items such as salaries of purchasing personnel, renting for purchasing department office space, and depreciation of purchasing office equipment. Third step is identify the cost for driver for each activity. The cost driver is the action that causes the cost associated with the activity. Identifying cost drivers require gathering information and interviewing key personnel in various areas of the organization, such as purchasing, production, quality control, and accounting. Next step is calculate a predetermined overhead rate for each activity. This is done by dividing the estimate overhead cost from step 2 by the estimate level of cost driver activity from step 3. And the last step is allocate overhead costs of products. Overhead costs are allocated products by multiplying the predetermined overhead for each activity, which is calculated from the step 4 by the level of cost driver activity used by the product. The term apply overhead is often used to describe the process. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
So now, I would like to present assigning cost activities. Assigning cost activities represent the first stage of the allocation process within the activity-based costing system. Firstly, not all company costs will be allotted to the activities defined. Company costs could be classified according to their nature under 3. First, direct traceable costs. Second, activity traceable costs. And third, non-traceable costs, or known as unallocated costs. So direct traceable costs is those allocated directly to a cost object using the same principle as traditional costing method. And second, activity traceable costs. Activity traceable cost is those allocated to identified activities. And lastly, non-traceable costs, or known as unallocated costs, which could be allocated to a cost object in proportion to other costs, or may be covered by a small increase in the target margin. So we move to the discussion slide. The application of activity-based costing or other more sophisticated costing system in manufacturing industries continues to be widely discussed by academics and potential users. Activity-based costing implementation are much more common in the area of services as well as energy companies, telecommunications, and financial institutions. Manufacturers often consider activity-based costing a rather unsuitable tool. This is because the principles defined above can be considered as guidelines applicable for manufacturing companies when implementing activity-based costing. They are quite general in nature, so might also prove useful in any situation where practical application could be highly specific and differ from others. So last but not least, the conclusion. In a nutshell, the article that I have read showed an example of the system being utilized in the processing industry, a characteristic of which is large portion of material cost. It is also showed that despite limited impact in the field of overhead cost allocation, the benefits in the areas of process and activity analysis made it prove a success. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Ishwan Subramaniam and my matrix number 270807. The title of article that I'm going to explain is Factors Influencing Activity-Based Costing ABC Adoption in Manufacturing Industry. As an introduction, in today's business environment, organizations encounter various challenges that require them to adapt effectively in order to remain competitive. Direct labor had shrunk dramatically due to increased automation. In traditional costing accounting system, direct labor and machine hours has persisted a major basis of production overhead observation by products. Studies that were conducted have shown that ABC benefits organizations and business. However, studies have shown that ABC adoption benefits organizations and business. And studies also shows that ABC adoptions remains low in organizations and business. Organizations tend to use traditional system for the purpose of overhead costing. Okay, as a discussion, empirical evidence that organizations supposed to organizations support and internal measures are statistically related to the adoption of ABC among manufacturing organizations in Malaysia. Usefulness of cost information for discussion making was one of the factors found to have a significant positive influence on the adoption of ABC. In 1988, Cooper argued that the decision usefulness of costing information is related to the cost of error associated with it. The importance of decision usefulness of cost information is also apparent at the ABC adoption exercise at GM and Harris Semiconductors. The ABC system will be broadly applicable to many different processes, and ABC results is better decision making and also initiated to obtain better production costs. ABC would generate products or service costing that will different from those produced by a traditional system, primarily in respect of their indirect cost content, where where the element of cost is material and where the traditional methods of overhead costing do not support capture resources consumptions, then the use of ABC would improve product cost information that is produced. The use of ABC will generate information relevant to cost control because overheads are made from visible throws, pooling by activity and their underlying causes to the extent it is related related in their cost driver. In 1995, Anderson found that ABC system should reside in manufacturing, not in accounting. She also found that knowledge of production process is very important in ABC success. In 1989, Abdul Qasim studies found that manufacturing organizations in Malaysia place a great emphasis of financial management measures. Traditional cost system not able to capture an accurate overhead cost consumed by each products. Because of this, certain products will be overstated and certain products will be understated. ABC is contrast provides a better insights than traditional costing system. As a conclusion, manufacturing companies in Malaysia do not adopt ABC as their overhead costing system. It is also found that among that those adopt ABC ABC, many are still at the first stage of implications. CIMA, a professional body associated with management accounting, has been actively promoting ABC through various uh, publications and seminars. The ABC system has long been seen as a tool to provide the management with a more accurate product costing. From ABC system, they can be used for planning, pricing, budgeting, and performance measurements. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Danish Babu Nokaraju and my matrix number is 273429. I'm going to talk about real life application of activity based costing ABC. In real life, the concept and application of activity based costing had been proven far beyond the academic discussion. ABC had been widely applied in many different areas like environment, engineering, healthcare, and etc. For environment, concept of activity-based costing (ABC) has been used to develop an optimal decision-making model for Taiwan's hybrid green power strategy. From the research, the main problem in this research is there was unstable electricity supply for economic development and residential life in Taiwan. Therefore, green electric power system is very important for Taiwan as a new electricity source. A comprehensive model which developed based on activity-based costing helped the management to have a clear picture about the actual cost information and understand all the activities involved in each of the process of green electric power system. The results were management able to make better decision making in order to get the maximum profit for green power planning. For engineering, a costing model for raw material handling section was developed based on concept of ABC in an Indian steel plant. The main problem was the steel plant lack of accurate cost information to support their managerial decisions. This situation has led the steel plant to operate through inefficiency activities and resources. The results obtained from this model were all the activities are clearly defined and operate under efficiency resources. The steel plant allowed to minimize the manufacturing costs with an efficient resources planning. For healthcare, an ABC approach was used to develop a cost estimation model to identify cost information for an assisted reproductive technology (ART) treatment in Italy. The most critical issue in this research was lack of proper costing tool to estimate the cost required of an ART treatment in Italy. The results obtained from this model was the actual cost information of particular treatment has been clearly defined. Management also allowed to set up an efficient budget in order to maintain the efficiency of particular treatment. The particular treatment even been improved by eliminate inefficiency activities and resources.
Hello everyone, my name is Praveen, number metric 273489. So today I'm going to review an article entitled Activity Based Costing in Malaysian Small and Medium Sized Enterprise. So this article has been published by University Tun Hussein on Malaysia. So in this article, I'm going to focus on activity-based costing implementation. Okay, research related to activity-based costing within small and medium enterprises sector is very little, Therefore, these research attempts to investigate the implementation of activity-based costing in small and medium enterprises. A questionnaire survey was conducted among Malaysian small and medium enterprises from manufacturing sector. So from that questionnaire survey, 108 responses has been uh, collected, which is 17% respondents has been respond in that questionnaire survey, and these 17% respondents have implemented this activity-based costing technique. And the reason why not most of the people are not implementing this activity-based costing technique is because they are still in that adaptation stage. So this is the reason why they are still not so implementing this ABC technique. And the success of activity-based costing system contributed by two things. One is the manufacturing environment, and then the strong support from the top management. Okay, why I focus on small and medium-sized enterprises? Okay, so this is the explanation. Because small and medium enterprises plays a significant role in most economies in terms of wealth creation, entrepreneurship development, and poverty alleviation. This sector has become the largest group in business population in most countries. In Malaysia, small and medium enterprises sector represent 97.3% of total establishments. Therefore, this sector contributes significantly to total manufacturing output, which is gross domestic product, GDP, and exports. Small and medium enterprises must keep improving their existing competence in order to ensure their survivals. Therefore, research into these areas should be conducted in order to increase understanding on the development of activity-based costing in small and medium enterprises. Our Malaysian government has laid the development path for small and medium enterprises in the Small and Medium Enterprises Master Plan in 2012 till 2020 for further improving these sectors. So now this is the table which shows the current stage of activity-based costing. So in this table, the results indicate that activity-based costing is only adopted by around 17% of total respondents. This implies that there is low use of activity-based costing system among small and medium enterprises. The activity-based costing implementation is in the adaptation stage, as I said before, with approximately 28% of total users, and the acceptance stage obtains the lowest percentage with around 6%. So this is all about this table about the current stage of activity-based costing in Malaysian small and medium enterprises. So now we're going to look about the dominant factors for the adoption of actual base costing. So there is 5 factors for the adoption of activity-based costing. So first is the complexity of manufacturing, and the second is the cost data usage within business unit, and then the third is about the top management support, as I mentioned before, and then the fourth is about the employees have been trained under activity-based costing, and then the fifth is the activity-based costing has been used for the performance measurement as a performance measurement. So yeah, this is the 5 factors for the adoption of activity-based costing. So next is about the reason for non-adoption of activity-based costing. So for the reason, there is 3 reasons. First is about the confidence in the current cost system is made. So this reason is can be considered because nowadays a lot of industries are more to their current cost system. They didn't want to shift their system into a new system. So this reason is also for can be taken as one of the non-adoption of actual costing. And then the second reason is the inherent difficulties of actual base costing, and then the third is the firm's characteristic and business environment also can be considered as the reason for non-adoption of activity based costing. So yeah, that's the information that I've been collected from these article. So yeah, thank you.